Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Chiquis, and you've reached the voicemail box for Dear Chiquis. I'm here to give you advice on anything and everything you need help with. Maybe you're going through a breakup. Maybe you're having issues with your family. Or maybe you need help figuring out how to balance your checkbook or how to start a business. Whatever the case is, I want to hear from you. Remember, these are my thoughts and opinions, and if you're suffering from an issue or hardship, you should seek help from a qualified professional. All right, now go ahead and leave your question at the sound of the beep.
Hey Chiquis, I just listened to your IVF My Journey episode, and I want to thank you for putting that information out there, especially about feeling broken. I have 2 kids, but when I had a C-section, I felt very broken, like my body was not doing the one thing it was meant to do. But onto my question, I want to ask, since you raised your brothers and sisters, how did you feel like you didn't lose yourself? I'm a bit older than you, and I don't feel like I have an identity outside being a mother, and I'm really struggling with that right now. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you. Love you.
I love you too, Misty. Thank you so much. Look, I think that once they grew up is kind of when I realized, I think it was when Johnny turned 18 that I said, you know what? I have to understand that they're my siblings, and even with your children, they are borrowed. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that God says here for a little bit, but they're meant to live their own life and their own journey. And for a long time, I think that I was lost in wanting to help them and prevent them from making mistakes and falling. And that's just part of life. And when they turn 18, especially Jenica, it was like a big, as soon as she turned 18, she's like, I'm leaving. I want to be independent. I didn't understand it. I was like, what the heck? It was a huge blow to my heart. But now I step back and I realize, you know what? It makes me proud to see them spread their wings and grow and know that I had some part in that. I don't know how old your kids are, Misty, but it's very important that you find time for yourself as young as they are, and also know that they're going to turn 18 and they're going to do their thing, whether you like it or not. They have to live their life. But you also need to find time now for yourself. And what does that look like? I mean, it could just be simply a bath by yourself with no kids around. Find those moments of silence for Misty so that you don't get so lost in it. But it's a blessing. It's a blessing that you're a mother and God gave you these children because He knew you could raise them and be an amazing mother to them. So I think it's just a matter of time. It took me a while, and as soon as Johnny turned 18, I was like, you know what? Okay, I've already went through this pain. I have to understand, like, I have to start letting him kind of walk and let go of his hand a little bit. And that's not always easy. But ever since then, I feel lighter. I don't know. But it's when they turn 18. But then again, I never stop worrying about any of them, to be honest. Even Mikey, he's 30 something and Jackie's 33. I always worry, it's just something that is just a part of us, So anyways, I hope I answered your question, Misty, and I hope I was able to help you. But girl, it's an everyday thing, but you have to be adamant and intentional in finding time for yourself. I hope I helped. Okay, Misty, sending you a big hug, okay? Okay, now let's hear from Autumn.
Hey, Chiquis. I freaking love you. But Chiquis, I have a question, girl. So on your podcast, you always speak highly of your relationship, and you're in a healthy relationship now. And I love that for you, girl. But with that being said, you recently did Know the Products podcast. And girl, you would think you didn't have a man. Are you in an open relationship, or would you be okay with your man flirting and making out with another female? Because listening to your podcast, you don't come off as that type that would be okay with your man doing that. I don't know, Chiquis. I love you, girl, but that just threw me off. Bye.
Autumn, I love you. I love that direct ask question. More of those, please. I love it. Here's the thing. I'm very open with Emilio. I've been open with him since day one. We don't have an open relationship. Absolutely not. He knows that I had a girlfriend in my early 20s. He knows that I love the anatomy of a woman. I'm not necessarily, I don't want to put any labels like I'm lesbian or bisexual or anything like that. But I've kissed girls, and I'm a huge supporter of the LGBTQ plus community. And I have a brother that's, bisexual. So anyways, with that being said, if Emilio was flirting with a guy, I'd be like, okay, cool. Another girl, no. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit there and go to some guy's podcast and flirt with him. Like, that I know is off limits. It's just with Snow, like, that's my homie. I think she's hot. I love her. I love her music. I've been a fan of her music for about 2 years now. And Emilio knows. Emilio's like, okay, as long as it's not a guy, I'm totally fine with it. He thinks it's kind of sexy. So he actually went with me to a podcast with this girl named Leslie. She's a DJ here in LA. And we kissed. And he was totally fine with it. He's like, damn, I think that's hot. So to answer your question, Autumn, he thinks it's cute. He thinks it's sexy. As long as it's not a dude, I think we're good. I don't think Emilio would ever flirt with a guy though. But if he were to flirt with a girl, oh no, girl. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I am not going to put up with that. And maybe it could be a little bit like double standard, but I'm just very like, boom, this is what it is. I'm a grown ass woman. I kind of like girls once in a while. I drink some tequila. And if there's a cute girl and we happen to kiss, he's okay with it. It's cute, you know, but I wouldn't like go any further, especially with the dude. You feel me? So thanks. I really liked your question. Thank you for being so straight up, Autumn. Okay, looks like we have a question from Stell Bell. Ooh, Stell Bell, like that.
Hey, Chiquis. I had a question for you. Also, me quería desahogar un poco. So, me and my fiance have different mindsets when it comes to money. For example, I like to save. I like to pay my bills on time. And for him, he's the spender. He likes to spend money whenever he has a chance. He waits until the grace period is about to end, like deja todo lo último. And it's kind of hard since we are sharing the same bank. So all his money, all his income goes into my bank, and de ahí saca, whatever he wants to spend and everything. And I'm not working right now, so it's really hard for me to, say, hey, like, you need to watch what you're spending, and not trying to like get on his ass, but also, trying to help us out as a young couple. And every time I do try to bring it up, it turns into an argument, and I just want your advice. What do you think I should do? Thank you, girl. Hope I can hear from you.
Hello, Stell Bell. I like your name, by the way. Okay, look, finances are always just a touchy subject when it comes to relationships. And if you guys are sharing an account, that this means you guys are a very serious couple and you guys are in a very serious relationship. So that's a good sign. The fact that you're not working right now doesn't mean that you can't say something, because you're taking care of the household, I'm assuming, and cooking and cleaning. And that in itself, girl, is a job, let me tell you. So you have all the right to say, hey, our bills come first. It's all in how you express it. If you're coming at him, throwing a curveball and you're being rude, or that's completely different. But if you come out of a place of love and you just say, hey, I'm worried. I'm not going to tell you not to buy yourself whatever it is that you'd like. I just want you to be mindful of making sure that our bills are taken care of first. I mean, maybe what you can do is figure out how much the bills are and set that money to the side from the very beginning. As soon as his check comes in, okay, it's like, I'm putting X amount of money to the side because this is for our bills. And I just want to make sure that's taken care of. Whatever there's left, then he needs to know. I mean, we have to save for a rainy day. You have to be mindful for our future because, girl, we're in a recession, and you have all the right to be worried. And he should understand that because you're coming out of a place of love. It's not like you are trying to take his balls away. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I love you. I want the best for us, for our household. And again, it's all in how you say it and you deliver your message, mama. So I really do suggest that you have a deep conversation. And again, if you can't say it, text it, write it in a letter, something where he can have some time to just sit and think about it. And I always say, I'm not trying to upset you. I don't want to start an argument. I'm just concerned. And hopefully he receives it well. Okay. Thank you for your question. And I hope it gets better. Okay. So last but not least is a question from Pamela.
Hi, Chiquis. My question to you is, I am really interested in microdosing because I have heard that it has helped people with their confidence within, and just, I suffer with a lot of old anxiety and a little bit of depression from some childhood trauma, especially having childhood sexual trauma. I feel like it's affected my confidence as an adult, and I sometimes feel myself having a lot of out-of-body experiences. So what is your advice on bettering my confidence and how is your experiences with microdosing? Because I really want to get into it.
Oh my goodness. So many people have been asking me about microdosing. I've mentioned it a few times on the pod. So Pamela, absolutely, it is something that I am very excited about. I truly believe in it. I do suggest for you to watch some videos on YouTube, do your research. And I want to do a full episode on this. I'm not an expert by any means. I just know that I love how I feel since I've been taking and since I've been doing psychedelics, microdosing. So I'm going to get an expert for us. I'm going to find someone that we can really dive deep into this. But all I can tell you is do your research, look at some stuff. They even have some stuff and documentaries on Netflix that I've watched, and it's called How to Change Your Mind. And there's another one that is called Have a Good Trip. I haven't watched that one yet, but I know it has to do with psychedelics. So those are the two that I would tell you, Pamela, to go ahead and watch. If anyone is interested, do your research, you guys. Go on YouTube. But it does wonders for, yes, your confidence, for your depression, for your anxiety. Emilio, my boyfriend, had a lot of anxiety. And since we've been doing it, we do it together. We pray together. Every 3 days, we take 2 pills. And you don't feel crazy. You don't feel like you are hallucinating. It's nothing like that. If you take a lot, then that's a different story. But literally, we're microdosing. So we do it together, and it's helped our relationship. It's helped his anxiety so much. Even his depression, you guys. And me too. I don't feel as sad. I feel different. I don't even know how to explain it. And I call it it's the flesh of God. It comes from the earth. So it's something supernatural. So anyways, Pamela, that's what I recommend. No quiero hablar mucho o de más ahorita. I will do a full episode on this as soon as I find the right person to really dive deep because I know it helps on a cellular level, but that's all I know. Okay, so Misty, Autumn, Stell Bell, and Pamela, thank you for submitting your questions, and thank you for listening to both my podcast, Dear Chiquis and Chiquis and Chill. If you guys find yourself wrestling with an issue, I'd love to help. Please leave your questions at speakpipe.com/Chiquis and Chill podcast. I'll see you next week. Besitos a todos. This is a production of iHeartRadio and the My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcast and follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, and check us out on YouTube.